It is official. Dembele is going to win the 69th edition of the Ballon d'Or. 2025 is the 69th edition of the award. It is going to be won by a player that started out with Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund is Gematria 69, and that is where Dembele started out. He started out with Dortmund. He broke away with Dortmund to go to Barcelona in the first place. And he is going to win the Treble. The Ballon d'Or on the 27th day of the month should be won by a player playing for Paris. It is Paris, that's Gematria 27. Now, we had the death of Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope. And the Jesuit order, as you know, was established at Paris, France. So it's Paris that is going to win the Champions League, their first Champions League finals since 2020 during coronavirus. And this is the 70th Champions League. And PSG are back in the final for the first time since coronavirus. The Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order, was established at Paris, France. Society of Jesus is 56. In Paris, France is also Gematria of 56. So let me improve the visual. And we have all of our 56s. It's Paris, France, PSG. That's going to hand Inter their 56th loss all time in the Champions League. And let's not forget, the former Milan keeper is going to haunt Inter, the in-city rival. It is Donnarumma that is born on the 56th day of the year. So we have that subplot of the former Milan keeper winning the final over Inter. But Dembele is going to win the Ballon d'Or. It is PSG, whose nickname is Les Parisiens. Les Parisiens are going to hand Inter their 56th loss all time in the Champions League. And the first ever Champions League final was played in 1956. And what is that connection to the first ever Champions League final? Everyone knows Real Madrid won the first 5 titles, but you notice the first final was played by Reims, and Dembele. Okay, he didn't play with Reims. It was Rennes that he started out with. That's interesting in itself too. As far as Borussia Dortmund goes, Borussia is Gematria 32, and Ligue 1 is going to win their first title in the Champions League in 32 years. It's Munich that's 32, and PSG are going to win France their first Champions League title in 32 years, and then they're off to the Super Cup at the stadium of Udine in August. So that 56 is a big-time connection. The 56 loss against Les Parisiens. 56 loss against Paris, France. And now, if the Ballon d'Or is on October 27, what's the amount of time from the Treble to October 27 when you think about these connections to be made with this? I think Dembele should score in the final. If the Pope passed away at 88 years of age, Ousmane is Gematria of 88. He can win the Ballon d'Or for the year 2025. He's going to score in the final. The first Champions League final since the Pope's death. The Vatican is located within the country of Italia. And the Jesuit order was established in France, and the first Jesuit Pope died at 88 years of age. This is a good question. I don't know what 149 to 150 is really about. This is a good question. But the Champions League final is 16 days after his birthday. And notice how Massour Ousmane Dembele, his full name is literally Gematria of the UEFA Super Cup. And let's not forget, too, as far as the Europa winner goes, Bruno Fernandes played with Udinese, and he's going to have a homecoming back to the stadium of Udinese. So his name in reverse is Gematria of the UEFA Super Cup. Now, Udinese is Gematria 40, and I want you to notice something else, too. Enrique when we go to Europe, he's going to win his 40th Champions League match, then head off to Udine for the UEFA Super Cup. Now, Ousmane Dembele's Gematria 53. Now, what's 53? 53 is winning the Champions League without Mbappe, is the first winner at Munich since Chelsea in 2012, and 53 is the Super Cup at Udine. Udine is Gematria 53. So that's the connection to be made with Ousmane Dembele's Gematria. And now this is the 69th Ballon d'Or, and Mo Salah started out as the favorite. Mo Salah's Gematria 69, but he started out as the favorite. He obviously is no longer the front runner for Ballon d'Or. You know, I wonder how many days left in the year is from October 27, really. And notice how Luis Enrique's birthday is on the day of the selection of the new Pope. The winner of the Ballon d'Or is going to be the winner of the final at Bayern's stadium. Bayern is Gematria 65. Now, Bayern's Gematria 34, that's easy. Inter fought a 3 and 4 in the final at Bayern Stadium. Inzaghi's Gematria 34. It's France in reverse, that's 34. Germany in the French language, the 70th Champions League, Gematria 34. We had the death of Pope Francis. Francis is Gematria 34. Now, as far as Luis Enrique's birthday is concerned, in the new Pope Leo, Robert Prevost, his birthday, 9/14/1955. His birth digits add up to 34. Now, Prevost is a name of French origin. Now, his dad is Italian and French. His mother is of Spanish descent, but Prevost is a French name. But his birth digits add up to 34. This is definitely a connection to Inter falling to 3 and 4 in the Ballon. When we look up Prevost name origin, what you get is it's a French surname. So this is yet another big clue that PSG are going to win the final. Robert Prevost, under 93. His name Gematria is Gematria Dembele. Now, 193 is basically Gematria Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain is Gematria of 266 prior popes, and we had the death of the Pope on Luis Enrique. We had the selection of the new Pope on Luis Enrique's birthday. He chose Leo as his Papo name. It is Leo, that's gematria of Ligue 1, winning the first title in 32 years, winning the final at Munich and heading off to Udine for the UEFA Super Cup. His name, gematria of 77, is significant. But I like what one user said, too. He basically said that Italia, following the 12 and 18, is going to line up with Qatar hosting the World Cup on December 18. Of course, the final was played on 18 day, December 18 of 2022. That's 18-9, and then May 31st, which is 4 of 9 years, 18-9. So, I want to give credit to the user. If I can find it. Redac 787 says, so Qatar gave Argentina the World Cup because of Messi playing for PSG. So the World Cup was given to Argentina, and in return for Qatar giving Messi and Martinez the World Cup, Lautaro Martinez has to give PSG, owned by Qatar, the Champions League. And so that is the connection. So Italia falls to 12 and 18 in Champions League finals. I thought he referenced that, but I guess not. Okay, Italy 12 and 18. He means 12 and 18. Okay, I stand corrected. He was definitely talking about the record in the finals. Paris Saint-Germain is gematria of 85, and I want you to notice that today's the 8th day of the 5th month. Dembele is born on the 15th day. PSG's 15th knockout tie with the Qatar owners was their first final in 2020. Now their 15th knockout victory is going to occur to actually win the Champions League. Let me start out with the basics. Type out Ballon d'Or. Now, Ballon d'Or, when you think about it, Ballon is gematria of 34, Inter fought 3 and 4 in the final. Now, Ballon is gematria of the 56th loss in the Champions League for Inter. Ballon d'Or is gematria of 93. Dembele wins Ballon d'Or for Ligue 1's first title since 1993. And of course, PSG are going to win their 93rd game in the Champions League, all time for Dembele to win Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or is 39, PSG is gematria 39. Wiki. The first award of the Ballon d'Or was on December the 18th, 12-18. that's going to coincide with Italia falling to 12 and 18 in the final. So France, it's going to be the sixth player to win the Ballon d'Or for the eighth victory overall. 6 players, 8 victories, 68. Gives us Gematria of the final at Munich. What about his place of birth? Vernon, France. His Gematria, Paris. And he's born at Vernon, France. Vernon's Gematria of the death of the Pope at 88 years of age. Vernon is also Gematria of Inter falling at 3 and 4 in the final. So that is how we look at his place of birth. This is how we tie it in with the place of birth. He'll get the 27 goals. He'll hit that 27th goal. He's actually at 33 right now. Inter in reverse is 33, and he has 33 goals at the time that PSG made it to the final, so that's where we are with this. How many more goals he's going to score? That's a good question. That is a very good question. The first Champions League title since they beat Milan in 1993, we're talking about Ligue 1. French word for treble. The word is triplet. The triplet. And Triple and Dembele both have 35 Gematria. Ousmane in reverse is Internationale. His total honors in his career. So his 15th, let's see. This is going to be his 15th trophy with club. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's got to get the 15 trophies in his club career, right, to ultimately win the treble.